What's going on, everybody? Back with another NFL discussion video, and today I just want to talk about some of the rookies that I'm most excited for. I mean, this is like honestly my favorite part of the year, like all the rookies, seeing how they do. But I mean, some like these are just ones I want to highlight that I'm a little extra excited for. I mean, I'm literally excited for seventh round to the first round. Like I just love all that stuff. I want to see how the rookies do, but I just wanted to pick out a couple to show you guys that I'm most excited for and like the reasons why. And in the comments, if you have like a rookie you're most excited for, just let me know. And that'll be cool if we can have like a discussion about the rookies we're excited for. Like maybe your favorite team, like you're a Titans fan, whatever. But yeah, let's get into this. First one I want to talk about is Jayden Daniels. Obviously, electric year. Heisman winner. 40 passing TDs to 4 interceptions. That's like nice little Aaron Rodgers season right there. 1,100 rushing yards and 10 rushing TDs, which is good for a running back in college. And this dude is a quarterback with 40 passing TDs. Like, Jayden Daniels was definitely one of my favorite college players last year. Commanders took him second overall, took him over Drake May, took a nice little risk. I would have took the risk too, honestly. But yeah, I want to see how, so with one of his main aspects of his game is in breaking out of pressure, breaking out of the pocket, and going for like a nice 10, 20, 30-yard run. But I want to see how he does that against like NFL linebackers and NFL corners. They have more speed. They're smart, like more smart, if that makes sense, better at making tackles, better at making plays. So I want to see if you can translate those 10, 20-yard runs in the NFL with those NFL talented corners, linebackers, and safeties. I also want to see how he does against like how his pocket presence is with like NFL rushers like Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, because it's definitely definitely a lot quicker in the NFL level than the college football. I also want to see he's got that super nice arm, super nice deep arm, super accurate. I want to see how he's throwing those balls, throwing those passes to Scary Terry and Jahan Dotson. And another super cool thing is they got Luke McCaffrey. I checked McCaffrey's starting in the slot, which is super cool. Maybe he can do something. I thought like third down was a little bit rich, but I mean they got him starting, right? But from the depth chart, they didn't really have any slot receivers, so. But yeah, I also want to see how the offense works with like Austin Eckler, like a super underrated, super good receiving running back. See how they implement that with Jayden Daniels and Austin Eckler with running QB. Jayden Daniels isn't necessarily just a running QB. He's just super talented at that. Like he's also a passing QB. And just see how they split those with Eckler and Jayden Daniels. And sort of just like last year, like Howell is not really like a running quarterback. Like Jayden Daniels has like that, like the Mike Vick, Cam Newton type running backs, Lamar. Sam Howell really wasn't that, but Sam Howell did have a good year considering, but the Commanders just didn't really have a good of a record. They also got a nice rookie tight end that I want to see. Ben Sinnott. Ben Sinnott was good. I think he just flew under the radar for a lot of guys. Not sure why, but took him in the second round. Just want to see maybe how like that goes with maybe Sinnott's getting a little bit of reps. See how Jayden Daniels throws to him. They're both rookies. See if they got any chemistry. But yeah, super excited for Jayden Daniels. He's probably my number one most excited for. Sorry about that. Next up, we got Xavier Worthy. Obviously, he ran that blazing 4.21 40, broke John Ross's record. Rip John Ross too. Rip. But I'm super excited for Worthy. I want to see how the Chiefs use him, how Andy Reid uses him, how this offensive scheme uses Xavier Worthy, uses a player like that with that blazing speed. I also want to see how his speed translates with NFL corners, because obviously NFL corners are much more speedy, quick. They have like, what am I trying to say? Like better hands, better coverage. And so I'd like to see that 4.21 speed, how that translates into the NFL with NFL talented corners. Obviously there's definitely a weight concern. I'm pretty sure I think it was 167. I mean, 167 is like basically minuscule, but I mean, he pulled it off. He had super good production, wasn't hurt during college. So he pulled it off during college. And I just want to say, like, same thing happened with Tank Dell. Like, Tank Dell, I think, was like 163. And Tank Dell had a super promising, like a really good rookie year, but then he got hurt, which is a concern with Worthy. But I really don't think weight with wide receivers, I don't think it's I wouldn't say the game is like revolutionizing, but I'm saying teams can use these 160-pound receivers better. And I think we'll see more of these like 180, 170, 160 pounds receivers in the future, just because it gives them that little fast edge. And obviously there's those generational wide receivers who are 210 and run the 4.4s, 4.3s. But yeah, I also want to see his chemistry with Mahomes. You know, maybe him and Mahomes get like a nice chemistry going. Mahomes trust him with the ball, trust him going for that deep ball. And obviously, like, it's super cool to have the best quarterback in the league, best quarterback past 5-6 years, you know, Xavier throwing him the ball. And I want to see his production. I mean, you can have a good rookie year as a wide receiver without having like 1,000, 900, 800 yards. Like, he does have to split production with guys like Kelsey, Rashee Rice, who was the rookie last year, Hollywood Brown. So just want to see how his chemistry. Just wanted to see how his production will do. But yeah, super excited for him. Obviously, everybody has got that 41 speed on the Super Bowl team. Next up, we got Rome Odunze. Super excited for him too. In any other draft, Rome Odunze would have been number 1 overall. He would have been a probably top 8, top 5 pick. Just want to put that out there. But we got Neighbors and Marvin Harrison, which are generational wide receivers. Excuse me, I might have to burp. Excuse me, sorry. I think there's a new Bears culture in Chicago with Caleb Williams. I think they're all fired up. I think they're all ready to go. They got a generational QB. They've been waiting so long to get a generational QB after Justin Fields. And I just think they got a little bit, they're feeling a little bit, if that makes sense. They like the pressure on them. I think they're embracing it. And also, like, with the Bears, like, Caleb Williams in general, I think, like, DJ Moore and Rome, like, Caleb Williams will build a chemistry with them, be able to trust them with the ball, make these passes to them. Another thing with the Bears is, like, for these NFL rookie quarterbacks, they have to adjust to, like, the faster pressure and the faster blitzes. But the Bears do have a super young O-line. Braxton Jones is 25. Tevin Jenkins was a rookie a couple years ago. Darnell Wright was a rookie last year. So maybe this O-line can develop and give the receivers a little bit of extra time on their routes, you know, which gives Caleb Williams a little bit of extra time to throw. But yeah, that's it for. And I want to see. So Rome was super physical, super good at separation with his hands. You know, they basically played like a man, like a grown man. You know, wasn't scared of press, wasn't scared of corners jamming him. So I want to see how that translates to the NFL with NFL corners. Next up, we got Jared Verse. Arguably, Jared Verse was edge number 1. I saw a lot of very good traits in Jared Verse. The speed and the power is something you don't see all the time. The speed conversion to power, something you don't see all the time. The Rams, I'm hoping that the Rams, like defensive line, Rams defense, they can coach this guy up. Sorry, what am I trying to say? Coach this guy up. Get him fine-tuned on like the little things that he needs to do. He can learn the game. I do think Jared Verse has the potential to be like a Pro Bowl, all-pro type outside linebacker, edge rusher. I do want to see how this speed and power does translate to NFL offensive tackles, because obviously they're a lot stronger, a lot faster, and I would just like to see how that speed and power translates with these NFL level tackles. He's also, this is like a little thing that I like, because I'm like, you know, I'm like a D-line, O-line guy. He's wearing number 8. Typically, edge rushers or defensive tackles who are number 0 to 9, they got like a little bit of dog in them, you know. I just think they're like a little bit cooler, like a little bit, you know, nicer than those guys with the 90s. But at least that's just my opinion. Like, I think if the Rams were to give him a number 0 to 9, it means like he's got something going for him, if you makes any sense to you guys. And they also got a super, super, super good young D-line. Kobe Turner had a super good rookie year. Byron Young had a super good rookie year. And they got the super athletic Braden Fisk starting at defensive tackle this year, who's a rookie. And now that 80's gone, Aaron Donald, I think that this Rams D-line is going to take like a step up without that captain, you know, that captain of defense. I think this Rams D-line is going to take that next step up now that 80 retired. But yeah, that's it for Jared Verse. Definitely watch out for this guy. I want to see how that sack production is, that TFL production, tackle production against these NFL-type tackles. Next up, we got J.C. Latham. I didn't include his I'm pretty sure Latham went sixth, either sixth, seventh, or eighth overall. I'm not remembering. I think it was eighth to the Titans. But J.C. Latham was definitely like that big thumper, like super physical, super strong. You know, that nice big intimidating right tackle. I want to see how that size and power does translate to the NFL. I want to see how he does against these speedy edge rushers. You know, super quick guys. It's definitely a different type of game, different type of vibe in the NFL with this speed. Another thing is he's starting at left tackle and not right tackle. The right tackle position is more of that big guy, you know, that big run stopper. So I don't think J.C. Latham is the most agile guy on his feet, but he might have that potential to be at left tackle and not right tackle. And he is that super aggressive, nice run blocker, and I want to see how that translates to NFL defensive tackles, like NFL linebackers, the speed of NFL linebackers, the athleticism of NFL D tackles, and NFL defensive ends. And I do think the Titans, I just have a feeling the Titans like they're big boys, you know. I think he can bring something to this O-line, to this offense, because he's like this, you know, big guys, big boy. Also with like T'Vondre Sweat, they brought in these two big boys, their first two picks. I think they want to set like a physical tone, a physical aspect of their team, like trying to show like we lost Derrick Henry, but we still got that, you know, big strong boys. If that makes any sense to you guys, I wanted to highlight. So week 1, he's starting. Week 1, he's got to go against Nick Bosa, who was the Defensive Player of the Year, I think 2-3 years ago. So he's got to go against the Defensive Player of the Year winning edge rusher. And then week 10, he's going against Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, the sack attack. So those are things I'd watch out for. You know, like obviously he's not expected to win these reps against Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, and Khalil Mack, but that'll be a nice matchup to see how this rookie does, see how this big J.C. Latham rookie does. And then next up, we got some honorable mentions I wanted to throw in there because obviously I'm super duper excited about all these guys, but these are just like little honorable mentions. Like I guess I wouldn't necessarily not as excited, but just a little bit less, I guess. Honorable mentions, we got A.D. Mitchell. I want to see how he fits in his offense with Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and with A.R. throwing on the ball, see if he can get those crispy routes, get open. And yeah, there's obviously the off-field concerns, but I am super excited with this guy. I do think he has a lot of potential. Next up, Taliese Fuaga. I want to see how that size, same thing with J.C. Latham, I want to see how that size and that power translates to the NFL. I want to see if he's still a nasty run blocker. Still, he's got that dog in him at run blocking. And he's starting. Same thing with J.C. Latham. He's starting at left tackle, not right tackle. So we got to see how those speedy, more athletic edge rushers do against Fuaga, who's like this big body, big stopper. And maybe Fuaga's starting right now on the depth chart, but maybe depending on how Fuaga's season goes, maybe him and Trevor Penning. Trevor Penning was a super good tackle coming out. I think this was 2 or 3 years ago. Super good prospect, super nasty, almost identical to Fuaga. Super nasty run blocker. Have that dog in him. And maybe him and Penning will be starting for that starting left tackle spot. So I guess we'll find out. So I got these here. So week 2 is against Micah Parsons, who is an MVP candidate type edge rusher. So I guess we'll see how Fuaga does against those speedy athletic rushers. Same thing with week 7, Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper, and Baron Browning are those speedy athletic rushers in week 7. Next week, week 8, we got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. See how he does against those more powerful edge rushers. And then week 11, we got the big boy Myles Garrett, man. Myles Garrett versus the rookie Taliese Fuaga. We'll see how he does against the best of the best. And Myles Garrett, I feel like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt and Max Crosby are like the big dogs, you know, the top of the pack. Argue with me about Max Crosby. I think it's Max Crosby, TJ Watt. It's sort of like 1A, 1B, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and then like 2 Max Crosby, like 1C-ish. But yeah, we'll see how he does against the big boy. And we got Laiatu Latu. Laiatu Latu is a masterful pass rush technician. I mean, his moves are so crisp. Name it, he does it. He wins, too. He's not just throwing it, he wins. I want to see if he can pull those kind of things, pull those type of moves against NFL-type talent, NFL-type offensive tackles. You know, if his strength matches up, if his quick hands match up with these NFL tackles who have seen it for years and years. And Buckner, I know Buckner's getting a little older, but Buckner's still, is eating those double teams. One of the most underrated defensive players of our generation. I think he might still be eating up double teams, so leaving Latu one-on-one. And I believe that leaving Latu one-on-one with a tackle is just not a good idea. I think he has a high possibility of winning, getting a sack, or getting a pressure. And there's also those injury concerns about his neck, but I'm really not too worried about that. It was the same surgeon as Peyton Manning, and he's fine. He played another season at UCLA, an All-American type season. So I'm not really worried about that. And honestly, I feel like Latu, I had Turner sort of like as my edge 3 versus edge 2. I had Latu as my edge 1. So maybe we'll get that nice little 10, 12 sacks. I guess we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, this is it. I'm super excited for these guys. Let me know in the comments, like, your opinions on, like, these guys, if I missed anything, and, another, excuse me, and if there's, like, another, Jesus, I just lost my voice, and if there's, like, another rookie you're super excited for, there's one I missed out on, I'm sure we could talk about it in the comments, and yeah, thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Obviously, give a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.